Brojne dileme nametnula je odluka State Departmenta o privremenom zamrzivanju procesa izdavanja useljenačkih viza za državljane 75 zemalja svijeta, među kojima je i BiH. Kako će to uticati na one koji predaju zahtjev za vizu, za one koji već imaju useljeničku vizu i za one koji žive u Americi i imaju državljanstvo BiH i SAD-a. Mjera koja je stupila na snagu 21. januara dio je plana američke administracije za suzbijanje useljavanja osoba koje bi SAD-u mogle postati socijalni teret. O mogućim razlozima na ovu odluku za Radio-televiziju Republike Srpske govorio je Rod Blagojević, bivši guverner Illinoisa.
Administracija američkog predsjednika Donalda Trumpa, odnosno State Department, njihovo ministarstvo spoljnih poslova, označilo je ogranke Muslimanskog bratstva u Libanu, Egiptu i Jordanu terorističkim organizacijama. Šta to tačno znači za globalnu politiku, ali kakve veze ima sa situacijom u Bosni i Hercegovini? Razgovaram sa Rodom Blagojevićem, bivšim guvernerom Savezne države Illinois i bliskim saradnikom američkog predsjednika Donalda Trumpa. Mr. Blagojević, hello again and thank you for your time for speaking to our television.
Thank you. Srećna Nova godina.
You too. So, as you said, the State Department has marked branches of Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt, Jordan, and Lebanon as a terrorist organization. What does it actually mean?
It means a lot. First of all, it's long overdue. Secondly, it's a substantial step and a necessary step towards fighting terrorism. And third, it signals President Trump's determination to wage war against global terrorism, particularly the kind of terrorism that is involved in places like Lebanon, Egypt, Jordan, and I would argue in Bosnia. And it's no accident that President Trump is doing this. He campaigned on a commitment to do this. And what's really interesting is this is part of not only the effort to defeat terrorists and protect the public, but it's also part of the Trump administration agenda to protect Christian countries that are being threatened by radical Islam and through the actions of terrorism. So I think those of us who are of the Pravoslavan Christian Serbian Orthodox faith can see this action as a significant step towards a better opportunity to do something with regard to what's been happening here in the Republic of Srpska and in Bosnia.
Well, that news brought about many comments even on social media. For example, Elon Musk asked, what about other branches? So can we expect similar actions to be taken against other branches of the Muslim Brotherhood?
Well, I think this is only a first step, and I think there's a lot more to come. And I truly believe what you're going to see here in Bosnia and the Republic of Srpska is going to be a lot of the same thing. They're going to find connections and investigate the reach of the Muslim Brotherhood in places like Bosnia. There's strong evidence to suggest that they've been very active here for a long, long time. Wasn't that long ago that Blagojević actually met with one of the Muslim Brotherhood leaders and actually congratulated him and thanked him for the help that was provided to the Bosnian government there. So I think you're going to be seeing a lot more of this from the United States. And as I've said before many times, I'll say it again, President Trump is really determined to protect Christian countries, not only our own, but other countries in other places all around the world, including here in the Balkans.
Well, you mentioned Mr. Blagojević, both the Blagojević Sr., late Alija, and the current president of the Party of Democratic Action, his son Bakir. And can we expect a shift in or an impact on politics in Bosnia and Herzegovina, given the fact that Republika Srpska's leadership has always stated that Party of Democratic Action, leading Bosniak party in Bosnia and Herzegovina, actually came as some sort of a branch of Muslim Brotherhood?
I think you should absolutely expect this to be another shoe to drop, as they say in the United States. And if I'm there in Bosnia and part of that political party that's been operating the way they have, I wouldn't be surprised at all to learn that what they're doing is they're going to try to destroy evidence and try to protect themselves from what may very well have been some of their activities. Now, we don't have concrete evidence to say that it's happened, but I think as a former lawyer and a former prosecutor, I would say you can make a strong case of probable cause that they were active in that, not just because Blagojević congratulated one of the leaders of the Muslim Brotherhood. But when you look back on the history of the wars in the 1990s and the role of the Mujahideen and the role of Al-Qaeda, it was open and notorious. People knew it. And it would be shocking if those relationships did not continue into the 21st century. So I suspect that once Bosnia is investigated by the United States, they're going to find a lot of evidence to show activity with terrorist groups like that.
Well, we know what kind of media situation was back then during the 90s, during the war, but I always said, and our leadership always repeated that during the war, Bosnian forces were actually involved with Hamas, with Iranian intelligence services, etc. Turns out no one wanted to listen. Is there any chance that now somebody will listen?
They are listening. There's no doubt that the Iranian government is having influence in the Bosnian government. There's no doubt that the United States government knows that they have influence with the Bosnian government. The only thing that was lacking in the United States was a determination by the president and his administration to do something about it. President Trump is determined to do something about it. That's why he just did what he did. Biden and Obama, they weren't. They were the same guys who were talking about $9 billion payoff to Iran. Trump's foreign policy with regard to Iran, with regard to Islamic terrorism, with regard to global terrorism is the direct opposite of what Biden and Obama's policy was. So the fact that it hadn't happened before in Bosnia would suggest to me that it's very likely to happen moving forward.
And also, President Trump decided to freeze immigrant visa applications for 75 countries. Some of them are Afghanistan, Algeria, Syria and such countries, but also Bosnia is among those countries. What does that tell you about the image of Bosnia? Is that a consequence of such actions in the past?
I think absolutely, and I think it's because they are so connected and so influenced by Iran. And influences by Iran are involved with Hamas and Hezbollah, the Muslim Brotherhood, and in places like Lebanon and places like Egypt and Jordan, and certainly in Bosnia. And so, no, this is all part of a much broader effort by the United States to protect our country, to protect our citizens, but also to go after and wage war against the terrorists who are terrorizing the world and who've been very active in the Middle East and have been very active here in Bosnia and in the Balkans. This is also very much a part of President Trump's determination to find common purpose, working together to promote the common interest of the Christian world, because he's very much a strong believer in Judeo-Christian values, Judeo-Christian traditions, and very much a believer in, I have to say personally, a great deal of respect and regard for the Serbian people for being the fighters that the Serbian people have been.
And let's conclude this talk. You've been here. We've spoken sometime before Christmas. You've been for the National Day of Republika Srpska. Now it's Orthodox New Year. And how do you feel about your stay here in Republika Srpska?
I'm a little bit homesick because home sweet home. That's where my family is. On the other hand, I kind of don't want to leave. It's been a wonderful nearly 2 weeks now for me. To begin with, on a personal level, just being able to attend Serbian church on Blagojević, Serbian church on BiH, to be here during the New Year's, and above all, when it comes to what was really important to the Serbian people here in Srpska, in Serbia, in Montenegro, in the United States, in the diaspora, and that is to fight for and protect the rights of the Serbian people. And President Dodik and the Republika Srpska are on the front lines of that war to protect Serbian Orthodox Christian faith and Serbian Orthodox interests and the interests of the Serbian people. And so being able to be here for January 9th to celebrate the Republika Srpska Day, a day that's to you what the 4th of July is to the United States, is very special to me as the son of a Serbian immigrant.
And just one last question: can we expect some problems to the German diplomat who is here unlawfully, Mr. Christian Schmidt? Can we expect him to go home anytime soon?
You know, President Trump had a television show in America. It was very popular. It was called The Apprentice. In fact, I was on it. And he was very kind to me on that show. off the camera and very kind to me on the camera, even when he fired me, which is what he's known to do on that show. So I would hope and think, and I'm certainly going to work and do my best to try to convince President Trump to do the same thing to Christian Schmidt. I would like to see President Trump say to him what he said to me on The Apprentice, "You're fired."
Mr. Blagojević, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Dakle, poštovani gledalci, za Radio-televizije Republike Srpske ekskluzivno poslije najnovijih dešavanja na geopolitičkoj sceni pričao je Rod Blagojević.